This man is said to be the fastest motocross rider in the world. But this man wants to be the fastest motocross rider in the world. As America's defending stadium motocross champion, this man carries the coveted #1 plate. And this veteran, a 6-time national champion, has suddenly resurfaced as a valid contender. Tonight, the Coors Super Crown of Stadium Motocross, Round 1. The track is a man-made dirt obstacle course that is simply spectacular. The competitors, 60 of America's premier motocross racers, headed to the top factory pros, and they'll battle for their share of a $50,000 cash purse. Tonight's Coors Super Crown of Stadium Motocross from Anaheim, California gets underway right after this short break, so please stay with us. From Anaheim Stadium, the home of the Angels and the Rams, this is the Coors Super Crown of Stadium Motocross, Round 1. Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Huffman to call the action, and with me, David Stanfield. And David, we have got a lineup of riders tonight. They're all here, and they are all healthy.
The best riders in the world are here, headed by Jeff Ford and Ricky Johnson, the #1 and 2 plates. They dominate motocross. They've done it for the last 2 years.
But don't count out Brock Glover, back for the first time in a year, and this guy looks good in practice.
Hey, they said he was washed up. Brock Glover with a lot of broken wrists, a broken leg. He's Team Yamaha's secret hope.
The great white hope. And also Mickey Diamond, who is the first time tonight on a factory Yamaha. First ride, switching from Honda to Yamaha.
The fearless, high-flying Mickey Diamond. This is his track.
And speaking of high-flying, these guys are going to have a pilot's license to get over these jumps. I've never seen a track with so much air.
It is true. They spend more time in the air than on the ground.
We are set for heat #1. David, who are some of the riders to watch for?
Number 9, Eric Kehoe from Team Suzuki from Granada Hills, California. Number 30, Brian Manley from Placentia, California. Number 11, Keith Bowen riding the tough-prepared Kawasaki. Keith is from Pontiac, Michigan. Number 122, Alan Dick representing Team Honda of Canada from Aldergrove, British Columbia. Number 22, Tommy Watts, Team Green from Las Vegas, Nevada. And number 160, a local boy, Peter Melton from Anaheim. And finally, on the Yamaha, number 28, the popular Jim Hollywood Hawley from Woodland Hills, California. You know, Jim just returned from a bizarre motocross race held in Bombay, India.
He either has great concentration, David, or jet lag. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Heat #1 here at Anaheim Stadium. There's a look at the track, and it is awesome. The riders couldn't believe it earlier when they first saw it. We're set. Heat #1. The gate drops, and rocketing out in front, it is the Suzuki of Eric Kehoe on the RM250. Gets out in front, goes wide. Over the first jump, look out, gets sideways, and Tommy Watts takes the lead, David Stanfield.
A really slick first corner there, and he just about spun out.
And there goes Tommy Watts, and there goes Kehoe back in front. And they are going for it over the double jump. Here comes Holly. Holly comes by on the inside and takes over the lead. Jim Hollywood Holly in front with Kehoe running second. Over the doubles, launching themselves. That's Brian Manley coming up on the outside. Tommy Watts running in fourth spot, but it is Holly with Kehoe right behind him. Jim Hollywood Holly getting a big lead here early in this heat. Waves to the crowd. Let's take a look back at the start. Look at Kehoe go all the way out, almost careens off a hay bale, comes back, he's completely crossed up. A lesser man would have lost it and gone down on the ground. But Kehoe keeps upright, and there is the man in charge at this point, Jim Hollywood Holly. won a number of Canadian motocross and arena crosses. Holly getting some air. Eric Keogh running in second spot. Brian Manley coming up in third.
A real wide track here. They've got plenty of lines to choose from.
It's twice the width of a normal Supercross track, David, and the riders like that. They like to have the width so they can pass where they want to.
Eric looks like he's just settling in, and Manley's moving up on Kehoe, which is going to pressure Eric now, and they're going to chase Holly right now.
You know, Kehoe won his first major race of his career last year when he won the 125 GP, and that gave him a lot of confidence. Now, Kehoe comes up behind Holly, and Holly gasses the Yamaha YZ250 and pulls away. Kehoe cuts to the inside. Over a series of short jumps, small jumps, Kehoe gets more air, goes to the inside. Now here's where Kehoe can pass through the whoops, and Kehoe does. Holly goes to the outside, Kehoe goes by on the inside. And Holly comes back. Well, we got a knockdown, drag-out brawl with these three riders, Jim Hollywood Holly and Eric Kehoe up in front. And that's Brian Manley out of Placentia in third spot, trying to go for second.
Oh, outstanding move by Eric Keogh on the outside. Used the berm, and he shot right into the fast line, and he's taken over.
And Holly drops back to third. He doesn't like that. Meanwhile, Manley comes up. He's on Keogh like a Krishna on an airport traveler. Now Keogh starts to pull away. We've got a replay of Keogh's pass, a slick move when he went by Holly. David Stanfield?
Well, this is what happens when you have a really nice wide track. You've got great racing. Keogh and Manley make their move through the stutter bumps, catch up to Holly, and the three jump into turn number 4. Kehoe had a wheel in front of Manley. Kehoe puts himself in position to jump into the lead. Holly gets the short end of the stick and gets squeezed out and drops to third.
Boy, and Holly was not happy about that at all. I can flat guarantee you. So Eric Kehoe, a beautiful move, and this kid is out in front with Manley. He is the son of a speedway rider in Southern California, Bill Manley, in second spot, and Manley also on an RM250 Suzuki, putting the pressure now on Kehoe.
Manley looking really good through the whoops, and he's got plenty of speed.
Kehoe careens off the jump, off the turn, comes up on the jump. Manley stays on him and keeps the pressure on. Plenty of lines, David Stanfield, on this track.
Nice and wide, outstanding track.
And there goes Manley. Look at this, a triple jump. And you can see Kehoe shake his head. He says, this kid is crazy. I'm not going to triple that thing. And Manley finds himself in the front, and the crowd loves it. Manley number 30, Kehoe number 9, and Hollywood Holly way back there in the back on the white Yamaha. Look at these guys go at the jumps. Now, Kehoe, who's a veteran, who's raced a lot more Supercrosses than Manley, David Stanfield, is putting the pressure on Manley.
Kehoe is definitely keeping his cool. He's got a couple laps left.
Manley in front, Kehoe in second spot, but Kehoe is ready to strike. He's looking for a mistake by Manley. Tough position for a young rider like Manley to be in. He's raced a number of Supercrosses, but not as many as Kehoe. And he knows that Kehoe is back and looking for a place to pass. Should be seeing that white flag soon indicating the final lap.
And look at the lead.
Look at that lead. Manley has got the lead, and he's going for the air. Now, going through the whoops. This is where Manley had problems before. Now, look, Kehoe rides him beautifully, comes up on him, but Manley stays in front again. He triples, and here comes Kehoe tripling. I think David Kehoe realizes he's got to triple to stay in this race.
Oh, he does. He's got about a lap and a half left in this race.
There's Manley, number 30. Kehoe, the rider we just saw a moment ago, is a rider who's about to be lapped by Manley. Flying Brian Manley and Eric Kehoe battling here in heat number 1 at Anaheim Stadium. And this is some of the best racing ever. These guys are close. Here comes Kehoe right up on Manley's back tire.
There's the white flag.
1 lap to go. Can Manley hold on and withstand the pressure of Kehoe? And Kehoe smells blood, and he's right on Manley's back tire.
Kehoe is expected to win this race.
Well, he's one of the favorites. There's no question about that. He's like the great yellow hope in the Suzuki stable along with Johnny O'Mara. Look at now. Kehoe puts the pressure on Manley. He wants a mistake. He wants Manley to make a mistake, go wide or go down. Kehoe comes to the inside. Manley on the outside. Oh, and Manley's holding on to that lead, David Stanfield.
Manley taking the best line.
He is taking an excellent line. Now, Kehoe gambles and goes wide. Doesn't pay off. Manley stays inside and stays out in front. And Kehoe flies over our cameraman, and look at this. Here comes Kehoe right next to Manley, and Kehoe takes the lead.
Kehoe tripled there. Beautiful move on the outside. Manley trying to hold the inside, just did not work. Out of turn number 4, look at this.
This is beautiful. Manley realizes he's got to make a move again, and now Kehoe starts to pull away. The checkered flag about to come out, and Kehoe has got this race wrapped up and the money spent if he can hold on, and he does. And Eric Kehoe wins heat number 1. Beautiful ride. Second place, Manley. That's not bad at all. Holly is third, and Keith Bowen is fourth. Let's go down to David Stanfield on the field. David?
Congratulations, Eric. Waiting for it. You were patient out there, weren't you?
Yeah. I came off to a pretty good start and had a little trouble in the first turn. They watered it down. Man, I slid all the way to the outside of the corner. I was going a little too fast, trying to protect that line I had, but it didn't work out, and Holly slipped by me, so I ended up, I had to just pace it a little bit, and my arms were running really tight. They pumped up. You know, I had to sit back and relax for a couple laps, regroup, get all my thoughts, and then I went for a couple charges over the triple jumps and through some bumps.
Manley, did he surprise you?
Yeah, he sure did. You know, I heard someone back there, but, you know, I was just trying to get my thoughts going and trying to regroup. I didn't want to fall down. And once he went by me, I knew, well, this is it. I got to go now or never, so I just went for it.
Congratulations, great ride.
Okay, thanks.
Eric's in the main event.
The European-style starting gate drops back, and they rocket off the line. Down that long front straightaway, it is a Honda in front with a Kawasaki to the side, and that is Doug Dubach, number 21. Doug Dubach in front, Larry Brooks, a wild man on a Kawasaki, number 14 behind him, and here comes, I think that's Kip Sandell, slipping into second spot. Doug Dubach in front on a private Honda, and he's opening up a lead already. Here comes Brooks. No, that is Sandell has slipped into second. Brooks in third on the inside. Riders going for air. And a rider down, and down hard. That's Jeff Stanton on a Yamaha, number 8. The yellow flags come out to warn the riders behind him to slow down. There's a rider in front who's down. But Dubach is out in front. Those multicolored barriers behind them as they go by are water barriers that were developed by Mickey Thompson. They are unfilled with water now. He developed them for his off-road cars and trucks. But they've done tests on them, and they're actually softer than hay bales. So hay bales certain parts of the track, but the red, white, and blue barricades are water barricades developed by Thompson. Doug Dubach, this kid likes this track. You can tell David Stanfield, he is way out in front.
Oh, he loves it. Look at the line he's taking. Look how far out ahead. We're talking a lap and a half into the race.
Different lines refer to different parts of the track where riders try to pass. There's Larry Brooks, number 14. He's a tough little cookie from Southern California. But Doug Dubach is in control right now. This is a very demanding track. It was designed by John Savitsky of Stadium Dirt Design, who's designed a number of tracks around the country. Earlier today, David spoke with him.
We got about 9,000 cubic yards of dirt in here. We started on Monday, so we probably have a possibility about maybe 100 hours in the track, and I'm just happy to see a good racetrack. I'm happy with the track 100%.
What do the riders think about it?
It's technical. It's a lot of air time, a lot of precision landings, and it's rough. You know, I think there's going to be some exciting racing, and I'm looking for some good jamming tonight.
We're back in the action of the second heat here at Anaheim Stadium. There's Dubach, and there's a rider who proves that the track is challenging but safe. Dubach in the final lap, and he's got a big lead over Brooks, number 14 in second. Brooks gets a little wild on that jump, but Dubach is heading for the checkered flag. David Stanfield looks like he's got this wrapped up.
He is definitely cruising. He is in the easy mode, doesn't want to make any mistakes. Here's the checkered flag.
All right, Dubach takes home the bacon here at Anaheim Stadium. Very happy privateer. No question about that. Woo, gets a little sideways, throws his foot up in the air. Doug Dubach takes home the checkered flag in heat number 2. As we look back in a slow-mo of his kick out, Larry Brooks second, Jason Lives Upshaw is third, and Ricky Ryan is fourth. Let's go down to the field and David Stanfield. David?
Congratulations, Doug. It looked pretty easy, but it's never really easy.
No, you're right. It's never really easy, but once you get out front and you get a good start like I did, it makes the race a lot easier. You can kind of choose your own lines, and it really helps a lot.
Is the track fun?
The track is great. It's not real dangerous, and that's what we need in the tracks in America now. It's good for the spectators, and it's fun for the rider as well.
Congratulations, great heat win.
Thank you very much.
Ron Lachine and Ricky Johnson. These two have waged classic battles all across North America, David.
You're right, Larry, and one of their best confrontations was a mile high. The 6th and final round of the AMA 250 National Outdoor Series took place at the Lakewood Cycle Park last summer. Team Honda's Dave Arnold filled us in on the success and riding style of Rick Johnson.
250 Nationals have been very competitive with Lachine and with Ward mainly the two Kawasaki riders, but Rick has won the majority of the events. He has been the dominant rider in the National Series.
What is his forte? I mean, a lot of people say, I really like him. He's stylish. He's fun to watch. Is he wild?
I would just say he's determined. I mean, you watch a lot of riders in practice, and you might say, well, Rick is a little rough here, a little rough there. You might see a rider that just has the perfect style or the perfect technique. And a lot of times, Rick may look rugged because he tries so much. He's so versatile. He won't just take the smoothest line, the shortest line, or the fastest line. In racing, he might know that he's going to get pushed out here. He might try the outside line where it's a little bit longer. He might take the rougher part of the jumps as opposed to taking the smooth ruts. And he just tries all that stuff so that when he is in a race, he can go and use it. He's had the background, he had the experience in practice, and he usually is just determined. I could just, you can roll him all up into a ball and just say that he's determined. He usually rises to the occasion. He usually gets better the closer to the race he is. And during the race, if he's down 15 seconds and he starts to close, well, that's just fuel to the fire. You can just see Ricky just starting to come on.
And Ricky came on this day. Rick Johnson was enough to win the battle as well as the war. He went 2 for 2, winning both motos and won his third 250 National Championship. But as you can see, Larry, there is no love lost between Rick Johnson and Ron Lachine.
No question about that, David Stanfield. And the battle continues with Ron Lachine versus Rick Johnson in heat number 3 coming up next. Welcome back to the Super Crown of Stadium Motocross. The lineup now for heat number 3. David Stanfield.
On the line, number 7, the wonder from down under, Jeff Lees, is Australia's Mr. Motocross. Number 19, Johnny O'Mara, former Anaheim winner as well as a past 125 and Supercross champion. Number 4, Ron Lachine, extremely fast and smooth. They often call him the Machine, and he would love to beat the man directly to his left. That's number 2, Ricky Johnson. Last year here at Anaheim, he dominated his heat race, then crashed and burned. He was knocked unconscious in the main event. Tonight, he hopes to show the Anaheim crowd he's the fastest rider in the world.
And we're going to find out as we're set to go with heat number 3, the Super Crown of Stadium Motocross, and there they go. 250cc rocket ships, projectiles down the front straightaway, and it is Johnson in front with Lachine right on his back tire. Johnson goes wide, Lachine goes to the inside. So Ron Lachine goes out in front with Ricky Johnson on the inside. And David Stanfield, it looks like Mike Healy on a Cagiva, one of the only Italian machines in the race, running in 3rd.
Healy hanging in tough in 3rd, and there's Sean Kalos as well.
Kalos is an Arizona rider, and he's touted as one of the top up-and-coming stars of Stadium Motocross. But out in front, it is Ron the Machine Lachine with Johnson 2nd.
The Osho moving in there. The Osho going into 4th right now.
Johnny O'Mara. He is a Southern California lad. He's in his 2nd year of a 2-year Suzuki contract, and he's moved to 4th. But it is right now Ron Lachine in complete control. Lachine and Johnson both about the same stature. They are 6'1", 6'1.5", about 190 pounds of pure muscle. And these guys are in shape.
Toughest part of the track right here. Those whoops are just deadly.
The whoops, you've got to ride them, get the front wheel up in the air and let it skim across the whoops and keep that the weight on the rear wheel and keep the front wheel up in the air. And they are doing it extremely well as they go for the air. The crowd's starting to stand and cheer now. This is a confrontation that a lot of people, David Stanfield, wanted to see. Lachine against Johnson.
The battle back for 3rd spot. There is Johnny O'Mara, number 19.
O'Mara in 3rd spot, and right behind him, number 7, is Lease, the Australian champion. Looks like a Huck Finn lookalike, red hair and freckles. And there is number 4, Lachine, out in front. Now Johnson starting to put the pressure on him. Through the whoops, and there's Lachine going wide. Johnson on the inside, then moves out to follow his line. These guys are in incredibly good shape. They ride bicycles a couple hundred miles a week. They lift weights, and they ride. Here's Johnson on the inside, trying to pass. Nope, Lachine shuts the door on him. Johnson comes right back. They go around a slower rider, a lap rider, number 4, Lachine, and number 2, Johnson. Lachine on a Kawasaki, Johnson on a Honda, both factory riders, both earning in excess of $500,000 a year.
And there's the white flag.
1 lap to go. Ron Lachine, number 4, holding on. Now Johnson has got to start using strategy. He's got about 55 seconds left to pass Lachine. He's got to try to go to the inside or the outside to feint and try to get Lachine to go where he thinks Johnson will go, and Johnson will go around him. But right now, Lachine is making it awfully tough to pass. Here comes Johnson. Almost goes down, David Stanfield. He almost hooked up with Lachine's rear wheel.
The mechanic's turn. Here he comes alongside a different line and some slower traffic ahead.
Johnson going to the inside of the whoops. This is where you go right on your head real fast, and Johnson comes out in front. Johnson goes by Lachine like a snake oil salesman of the night, and Lachine now is relegated to second spot. They're heading for the checkered flag. Lachine number 4, Johnson number 2.
3 more turns left. Anything can happen. These whoops and the jumps are so technical.
Now Johnson starting to pull away a little bit from Lachine, about 20 feet in front of him, and that's a long ways to overcome on a final lap. The track staying very well together, and there it is, the checkered flag, and Johnson takes the gold. Whoa, Lachine looks back around. They come up next to each other. I don't know what they said, but Ricky Johnson takes the checkered flag. Excellent camera work, directing work by our director, Mark Leckel. Let's go down to David Stanfield, who has heat number 3 winner, Ricky Johnson. David, take it away.
Lots of big air out there, but looks like the racing's going to be decided, at least the passing, in the whoops.
Yeah, the jumps, everyone's doing them, and you got to hit them all about the same speed, or you jump too far, not far enough. So that's not where the passing is going to be done. It's going to be either in the turns or in the whoops or coming in or exiting the turn. So I don't think you're going to see a lot of passing on jumps.
What was the key to you passing Lachine? Did you find a weakness or did you find a strength on your part?
Well, I felt I was riding real bad at the beginning of the moto. He pulled a lot of time on me. I didn't have a lot of confidence. We made some changes after practice and before this first qualifier, and my bike works better, but it just works different, so it took me a little while to get used to it.
Tonight, the track, what do you have to do to win, looking at the main event, besides a good start?
You're going to have to ride real aggressive because there's only a few spots where you can really make up time, and they're pretty hard to, like the whoop sections. If you go too fast, you might go down, so you got to be right on the fine line.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
So Ricky Johnson takes home the bacon. Lachine is second. O'Mara takes third, and Jeff Lees fourth. Heat number 4 with Jeff Ward coming up next. And that word sums it up. In order to win the Supercross of Stadium Motocross, you've got to attack. And that's exactly what Jeff Ward is concentrating on, David.
Wardy is favored to win this final heat race, but he does have some very stiff competition.
Like number 3, Team Honda's George Holland. Switching from Suzuki to Honda this year, he's got some things to prove, and he is ready.
And number 6, Team Yamaha's talented Mickey Diamond.
Diamond in the rough, also switching from Honda to another team. He's switched to Yamaha. And there's number 44, Brock Glover, who has won here at Anaheim Stadium before. And they line up on the line. Probably one of the most talent-laden starting lineups I've seen this year. You've got riders like Ward and Holland and Diamond, and there goes Glover on the inside. It is Holland in front in the start. Ward being pushed to the outside. Glover coming to the inside. Holland in front. Glover running second. Ward running third, and that is Mickey Diamond in fourth. They go through the whoops. Uh-oh, and Holland has slowed up the whoops, and Glover goes out in front.
Diamond with a great move on the inside over the triples.
He passed Holland for second, so it is Yamaha running 1 and 2. Brock Glover, he's had his share of injuries over the years. David Stanfield?
Brock Glover has broken for several times, a couple times riding motorcycles, coming down hard, a couple times skiing, and actually recovering from a broken leg just recently.
He's been out for 1 year. He is back. He says, I'm back with a vengeance, and he looks good right now. Brock Glover, 27 years old. He won his first national title at age 17 while a high school senior. He was a gifted student in high school, and they gave him special permission to go off on Fridays and Mondays to go to the races. And he rewarded Yamaha with a national title at age 17.
Brock Glover, 6 national titles, followed by Mickey Diamond with 2 national titles.
Diamond is a 2-time national 125 champion. With Honda, he switched to Yamaha this year. And look at Diamond go for the air. Boy, he is up high.
Team Yamaha has got to be happy about this heat race.
No question about that. If they can hold on here, 1 and 2, Yamaha, Glover, and Diamond, 1 and 2. You get a look at those water barriers on the side, the red, white, and blue water barriers. They have been called a major step forward in track safety. They did tests with them and found out that the riders were less apt to be injured if they ran into those than even hay bales. So that's kind of hard to believe, but I guess it's true. Mickey Diamond running second to Glover, trying to move up on him, but Glover is holding on to the lead.
Good battle in the back. It is Ward hounding Holland.
Jeff Ward, we expected him to do well in this heat race, and he has not done well so far. The crowd is focusing on the action out in front between number 44 Glover and number 6 Diamond. And here is Holland, number 3 on the blood red Honda. And Ward is all over the track on the Kawasaki trying to get around him.
Wardy's looking for a place to pass. Meanwhile, Brock's putting a little space between he and Diamond.
Glover looks good, no question about that. The Yamaha pits are jumping up and down. They're happy with this turn of events.
In the back, there's the pass. Jeff Ward, a mid-air pass over George Holland, so Ward moves into 3rd spot.
So Wardy goes through the whoops. Holland has been having problems with those whoops all night long, and Wardy now puts him away and heads for Diamond for 2nd. Meanwhile, in front, it is Brock Glover, the golden boy of Supercross. Running in 2nd, right behind him. They're coming up on a lap rider. In 2nd spot is number 6 Diamond. Diamond, formerly with the Husqvarna factory, he rode some desert races, did very well, but never won a national title. White flag out, 1 lap to go. David Stanfield, I gotta bet it's going to be Yamaha in the victory circle on this one.
Let's just see how bad Mickey Diamond wants that 1st place. He's going to transfer no problem in 2nd, but let's just see if he wants to be ahead of his teammate.
Mickey Diamond with long hair. He had a beard coming into this race and shaved off. He's only about 22, 23 years old. He's a different kind of a rider. He looks different and dresses different. Very intelligent.
He loves his music. Glover loves his speedboats and his water skiing.
Yep, and there is Glover. Look at Diamond go up in the air. He is on Glover's back tire like a tattoo on a merchant sailor. Look at him. Goes to the inside. Glover shuts the door at him. They're heading for the checkered flag. The final lap. Brock Glover in front. Mickey Diamond in 2nd.
Glover said, no way. I believe Diamond's going to hold off right here and just settle for 2nd.
Exciting racing. You're seeing Heat 4 here at Anaheim.
2 more turns. The checker flag coming out.
One of the best tracks ever built in Stadium Motocross, and it is looking good. Staying together. And there's the checkered, and Glover takes it. So Kenny Clark, the team manager for Team Yamaha, has got to be real happy right now, with Yamaha making a sweep of Heat 4, 1 and 2. 2 riders and 2 Yamahas. Glover takes the victory. Diamond is 2nd. Jeff Ward has got to settle for 3rd. And that's a surprise with George Holland 4th. Let's go down to the field, and David Stanfield, a very happy Brock Glover, I would imagine. David, take it away.
It looked like a lopsided heat at the start, but you pulled out to a clean lead. Any pressure from behind? Well, yeah, Mickey was coming on really strong, but, a lot of it had to do with the fact I missed a couple of the jumps because of lapped riders. And, I just felt really comfortable riding that speed. I felt like I had everything in control, and, it might be a little bit of a cocky attitude, but I know I didn't go 100% on my speed, but I felt comfortable at that speed. So if I can ride that 20 laps, it might pay off for a really good finish.
This television show is produced by John Bradley Entertainment, and the main event is coming up. 21 riders, almost $50,000 in prize money, and $1 million worth of thrills. Welcome back to Anaheim, California for the Super Crown of Stadium Motocross. We are just about set for the main event. Right now they're having a parade lap with the top riders and the rider introductions. There's number 1, Jeff Ward, last year's champion. And, of course, his nemesis, number 2, Ricky Johnson. This is the first major Mickey Thompson Stadium Motocross race, and the fans are getting their money's worth. Earlier, David Stanfield had a chance to go in the pits and talk to some of the riders. He asked them if they weren't racing tonight, who would win?
If you were not racing, who would you pick to win tonight?
I don't want to see Ward or Johnson win. I'm pretty bored of those guys, so I'd have to go with Brock or Stanton, maybe Johnny. Hell, I don't care. If I was sitting in the stands, I'd want to see a good race, and I wouldn't really be hoping for the...
I'm going to give you $1 million. You pick one guy to win. If that guy wins, you get $1 million. Who would you pick?
Johnson.
I think Ward he could be the man.
If you weren't racing tonight, who would you pick to win?
Ricky Johnson. I'd say Johnny O'Mara.
Jeff Ward.
I'm going to pick Mickey Diamond to win.
I'd have to say RJ.
Based on past results and what I've seen lately, Rick Johnson.
You're not racing. Who's going to win tonight? $1 million bet.
I'd have to put my money on Jeff Ward.
Brock Glover.
I'd have to say probably Rick Johnson.
I'd have to put my money on Jeff Ward. He's holding the #1 plate.
Ricky Johnson.
Ricky Johnson.
Interesting. The track tonight.
Wait a minute, I changed my mind. It's $1 million, a lot of money. Ricky Johnson, Jeff Ward. One or the other. One or the other.
One or the other.
Well, it seems as if this race is up in the air, and not too many agree on who's going to win. Now for some introductions.
My name's Johnny O'Mara, 26 years old, from Simi Valley, California.
Hi, my name is Eric Kehoe, age 23, from Granada Hills, California. Rick Johnson, 23, El Cajon.
Jeff Lees, I'm 23 years old, and I'm from Perth, Western Australia.
Jeff Ward, Mission Viejo, age 26.
Ron Lachine, 21, from El Cajon, California. Brock Glover, El Cajon, California, 27 years old.
Mickey Diamond, 23, Placentia, California.
And don't forget, number 21, Doug Dubach. He easily won tonight's second qualifying heat.
And this is the main event of the Mickey Thompson Super Crown of Stadium Motocross, and there they go. Down the front straightaway at close to 60 miles an hour, and it is Doug Dubach taking the lead. Oh, he's down. Dubach goes into a hay bale and goes down. Tries to get back up, and that puts, it looks like, Ricky Johnson and Jeff Ward out in front. Let's check it. Around the right-hander, and it is Johnson. Johnson in front with Ward second, and George Holland number 3 in third. And the superstars, David Stanfield, made it through the start.
The big guns come out. Great lines already, and they're already stretching out. Oh, Mickey Diamond lands real hard here.
They felt that in Japan, that landing. I'm not kidding. Mickey Diamond trying to go into fourth spot, or into third spot from fourth, but it is George Holland. So the lineup, it is Ricky Johnson over the jump, Jeff Ward number 1 in second, George Holland in third, and Diamond fourth. And Ward is pressuring Johnson early, David.
Right now, these guys are starting to pull away from the pack, and Mickey Diamond is worried. He's got to get into third.
The green flag comes out, indicating the first lap is complete. It is a legal start, and the race continues. 20 laps through the mud, the blood, and the beer here at Anaheim Stadium.
Look at these two already pulling out a good lead.
And going for a lot of air, it's Wardy. They go through the whoop-de-doos. Johnson and Ward just as smooth as butter.
There's Diamond's move. Diamond moves into third spot.
So Mickey Diamond on the factory Yamaha is running in third, but he's got to catch Ricky Johnson, number 2 on the Honda, and Jeff Ward, number 1 on the green Kawasaki. Diamond, number 6, firmly in third spot at this point.
He is the predator. He is watching Ward and Johnson. No mistakes. It's a long race, so they've got to be smooth and conserve energy. 2 more dissimilar riders in stature you will not find. Johnson over 6 feet 1, Ward 5 feet 7. Johnson about 180, 190 pounds of pure muscle. Wardy about 150 pounds, but nobody is in better shape than Jeff Ward. Ward, 5'7", 150 pounds, can half squat over 400 pounds. Tremendous power in his thighs. He's got the power in his shoulders and legs to ride that KX250. And Wardy closing the gap. Last year's champion has moved up right on Rick Johnson as they head to the triples.
Ricky Johnson in complete control, but Ward is making life miserable on him, and there is Diamond hovering in third, looking for a chance to pounce. And there is Ward in the air. He's got Johnson. A beautiful move by Jeff Ward. David Stanfield, that was absolute perfection, that pass.
Set him up in the whoop-de-doos. Big air, great precision riding.
Jeff Ward is in control in front of a huge crowd. Let's take a look back at the replay, David.
In the replay, you can see Wardy had the drive through the whoops, just skimming over the stutter bump and deliberately overjumped the last double and landed hard, got in front of RJ. RJ squared off his turn while Wardy uses the berm and powers into the fast line. Johnson forced to back off. Ward flies into the lead.
Johnson's head spun around like the little girl in The Exorcist on that pass, and Ward is in control, and Diamond's in third. Look out, Ricky.
And here comes Mickey Diamond.
Jeff Ward now motoring away on the Kawasaki KX250, pulling away from Johnson, and Johnson has got to stay within striking distance if he's got a hope of winning this race at Anaheim.
He's got to gather it together. He's got to worry about who's coming up on him. Here comes Mickey Diamond.
Diamond on the inside, but he goes down. Diamond threw the dice and lost, but he kept the bike running, David.
Outstanding attempt by Mickey Diamond.
That's right. He hit the ground, but he had the presence of mind to hold the throttle on, so he didn't have to waste time starting the engine.
We can look at that one more time. What's interesting about Diamond's attempt to pass on Johnson is that Johnson's mechanic, Brian Lunas, knew the pass was coming. There's the leader, Jeff Ward, goes through turn 10. Here comes Ricky Johnson. There's his mechanic, and on the pit board simply says Mickey. Warning Rick Johnson that Mickey Diamond is in hot pursuit. There's Mickey Diamond. His mechanic says be smooth and pressure, and here comes the attempt.
Johnson on the outside, Diamond on the inside, taking an entirely different line.
That last stutter bump threw him forward, comes off his foot pegs and goes down. Luckily for Ricky Johnson, he didn't get past, and luckily for Mickey Diamond, he held his engine together and it didn't stall the bike.
The hands actually came off the throttle, but the engine did not stall. That's interesting. If he had passed, if that had worked, I think right now Jeff Ward would feel Mickey Diamond breathing down his neck.
Ward's got a comfortable lead right now.
So it is Ricky Johnson in second spot. The pressure off him for a moment from a hard-charging Mickey Diamond, and he is going after Wardy.
A long race still left ahead. Ricky does not want to lose all his energy. He just wants to ride smooth, try to pick up any fast lines that Wardy has.
There's still plenty of racing left as Ward holds on to the lead. Johnson in second spot. We might point out that those seats along the track have not been sold because of safety reasons. They don't want to see a rider go up into the stand, so those seats down there along the track are not sold because of safety reasons. Here comes Johnson putting the pressure back on Ward.
Good European riding styles. They're up on their pegs, precision landings. They have to because the jumps are so technical.
They've got to put the bikes on the ground with the precision of a brain surgeon, and they'll find themselves on the ground, and that's exactly what these guys are doing. You can't find two more different types of riding styles, Ward and Johnson. But they are both going for the gold here at Anaheim Stadium. Larry Huffman and David Stanfield calling the action. You're seeing some wild and crazy riding. Johnson hammering at Ward, and Ward holding onto the lead.
And Ward feels the pressure, definitely.
He does. There's no question about that. The crowd is standing and screaming here. You've got a partisan crowd. Both these riders are from Southern California, and both of them have got their fans cheering for him. Johnson right up on back on Ward. They fly over the jump. Wardy holding onto the lead. And Ward's tough to pass. Make no mistake about that.
Ward looks like he's got this situation in control.
But Johnson is hovering right in second spot, looking for one mistake, waiting for Ward to make a mistake. And Johnson goes to the inside, and Ward shuts the screen door right in his puss.
And now it is Wardy. He is definitely in control right now, and he looks like he's starting to pull away.
Jeff Ward is one of the most well-conditioned athletes in the world, and tests at the LA Health Institute have supported that statement. His daily training routine is nothing short of being bionic. Ward is unreal.
If it's a serious day, do you run 2 30-minute motos?
I do that every day. My first moto is usually 40 to 50 minutes long. I ride it as hard as I can. Then my second moto is a moto that I go out and ride as hard as I can at the beginning until I start to get real tired, and I back it off a little bit, but I stay out there for a good 35 minutes. And it's not at my 100% race pace because I've just went 20 minutes longer than my moto before, so I've almost put in 3 motos into 2 riding sessions, which really helps out for the second moto at a national where, you got 30 minutes, but, you're used to that 40 minute, and it'll make it go by a lot quicker, a lot easier. Then after that, then I go home and do my cycling. I usually do 200 to 250 miles a week on my bicycle, and then I try to run 25, 30 miles a week.
We're back to the action at Anaheim. That number 3 plate was Ward's practice bike, and Ward is in control here as they head for the final laps in this main event. Still plenty of racing left. Jeff Ward does in 1 week what most people don't exercise in a lifetime. Unbelievable. Wardy is in control.
Johnson has closed the gap. He is a man possessed. He's coming up on Wardy.
He is putting the pressure on Wardy. We are just a little over the halfway point in this race. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, for the exciting finish. Welcome back to Anaheim Stadium. Larry Huffman and David Stanfield calling the action. We are just past the halfway mark in the main event with Jeff Ward in the lead. Earlier today, we asked Jeff to describe Rick Johnson, and here's what the 4-time national champion had to say.
He's aggressive, wild, and hard charger. Now Jeff Ward. Aggressive, smooth, technical.
Then we asked the 5-time national champion Rick Johnson to describe his arch rival.
Jeff Ward is aggressive, strong, technical, but his weaknesses are his height. If he gets pushed one way or the other, he's a little bit temperamental, but all in all, he's a good champion.
Rick Johnson is?
Rick Johnson is aggressive, strong-minded, a little sloppy, but wants to win worse than anything.
And I've got to agree with that. Ricky does want to win. If you've just tuned in, you're watching exciting motocross race action from Mickey Thompson's Super Crown of Stadium Motocross, and the plot thickens, David Stanfield.
Our leader, Jeff Ward, number 1, comes up on slower traffic. He's got to weave his way through it. Right behind him, Ricky Johnson, number 2, and Ricky is going to capitalize because every time Jeff meets a slower rider, Ricky's going to gain a little ground.
That's right. It's always dangerous when a rider, a leader, is lapping slower riders because they don't know for the most part who's coming up behind him, and that's taken a lot of leaders out. So Wardy out in front.
And Wardy looking smooth right now, no problem. But Ricky Johnson's got to get a fire lit underneath him. His mechanics tell him to go, go, go. He squares off that turn 4.
This and all of the Supercross Stadium Motocross programs are being seen in Europe through Robert Kinsey's Stadium Video Europe. Wardy coming around the lap riders, and here comes Johnson putting the pressure on. And the crowd is reacting. They know that something can happen here because whenever you get into traffic with slower riders, anything can happen. There's Wardy, number 1, and there's Johnson, number 2.
They just have to take a new line, a different line, because sometimes that slower traffic is right in their fast line.
And we would also like to welcome all of our Japanese viewers. This program is being broadcast on NTV, Nippon Television Network, Japan's largest television network. And they're seeing some great racing. Jeff Ward and Ricky Johnson are hot in Japan. They both raced and both won over in the land of the rising sun. Here comes Johnson on the whoops, coming up right behind Wardy, and there he goes to the inside, where Ward did not expect him to pass. Johnson came by.
Outstanding move. Ricky Johnson on the inside, he pegged it.
Now, Jeff Ward finds himself in the bridesmaid role. He's got to go after Johnson and pass him, and he doesn't have a whole lot of time.
Wardy goes down. Wardy crashed right before. Coming into turn 4, Ricky Johnson, look at the lead he's got right now.
Unbelievable. Wardy coming out of the whoops, went down, the front wheel went out, and Ricky Johnson is on his way to victory here in Anaheim.
Here is a replay coming up of the pass. Johnson moves up on Ward. Jeff's trying to get around 2 slower riders. They seem to have the line he wants, so Jeff just seems to motor through the middle of the whoops. Meanwhile, Johnson makes an inside move and makes it look much easier than it really is. Johnson dives under to the inside. Ward didn't cover himself, thus the quick and simple lead change.
You got to wonder that Jeff Ward is probably really upset at himself at this point.
Now, through the whoops, Ward, second position, seems to pop out of gear or miss a shift here. Watch this closely. Over the double jump, he comes up 2 feet short.
Oh, and he goes down hard and takes an Anaheim soil sample.
Into the handlebars.
That jarred his ancestors, I flat guarantee you. Here is Johnson in front, number 2. He's happy. The pressure is off, and he's heading for the checkered flag.
Ricky Johnson, a couple more laps to go, but remember, Mickey Diamond's right back there. Jeff Ward got up, gathered himself. He is right in front of Mickey Diamond. It is Ward, believe it or not, still in second. Here comes Diamond. Diamond to the inside.
Oh, Diamond almost takes it away from Ward. Ward is still groggy from that crash, and Diamond also almost went by him on the inside. Ward has recovered. They're heading for the checkered flag. Johnson in front, but now the crowd is focusing on this battle between Ward and Mickey Diamond in second.
Ward went down real hard. Don't know if he's got any injuries, but he's still riding quite smooth.
He's in good shape. Remember this. Ward is in incredible physical shape, and he can recover. There's Ward, number 1 in second. But he's trying to catch this rider, number 2, going through the whoops. There's a rider down in front of Johnson, and that's what can happen. Johnson's feet come off the pegs. He almost goes down, but he recovers. Ward is still in second, and Johnson is heading for the checker.
That held up Johnson just enough. I mean, these guys caught another 5-10 seconds on Johnson. Yellow flag's out,
indicating a rider is down in front of him. But here is Johnson. He is out in front, in control, no problem. Has regained his composure, going through the whoops, and he's in front and in control, David. No problems at all for Johnson.
Heavy traffic, big air over the triples. He's got the lead, but the battle, here comes Mickey Diamond, big air through the whoops. Mickey's inside move.
Goes to the inside and passes Ward. What a move by Diamond. Ward is still groggy. He's got to be groggy from that fall, and Mickey Diamond is going after Ricky Johnson.
Jeff Ward looks like he is in one piece right there. I cannot believe that happened.
I don't either. It's like he had a momentary lapse of concentration, David. He went to the outside, and Diamond slipped right past him.
There is number 2. Second position right now. Number 6 is Mickey Diamond on the Yamaha.
Diamond, factory Yamaha rider, got a lot to prove. Switched from Honda this year after winning 2 125 national titles, and he is chasing his former teammate, number 2, Ricky Johnson. Johnson in control through the whoops, riding with the precision, just beautiful, beautiful body placement, move back and forth on the bike. And there's the difference between first and second. There's Diamond, number 6, the white jersey, in second.
Wardy is still in third, but has dropped off the pace. Mickey Diamond has a little incentive now. Try to catch Johnson. Johnson's out there cruising.
I think Ward is going to be content, David Stanfield, to stay in third place and pick up those valuable points. And I think that leaves Diamond with a chance to go after Johnson. Whoa, and Diamond showboating a little over those jumps. Might realize he doesn't have a whole lot of a chance to catch him because Johnson has got a tremendous lead at this point.
Let's take a look. Where is Johnson? There's Rick Johnson coming out of turn 4. There's Mickey Diamond. He is closing the gap. Ricky is riding way too conservative, and here comes Mickey Diamond.
I don't want to say that track is showing some wear there, but I think I just saw a German soldier stick his head out of one of those ruts. Mickey Diamond, number 6 in second spot. Larry Huffman and David Stanfield calling the action here from Anaheim. Now wending his way through lap riders, as Johnson is doing right now also. Johnson lapping number 33. David?
Last lap.
Final lap. White flag out, and Johnson suddenly gets serious and heads for the gold. Look at the infield crew waving Johnson on. They want him to win. There is Johnson waving to the crowd. They love that, and Johnson does it. He works the crowd extremely well. 30 feet in the air, turns and waves at the crowd. Look, he gets sideways. Woo! Johnson's having fun, David.
And the crowd is enjoying it, but still Mickey Diamond is within striking distance.
If Johnson makes one mistake on those jumps getting sideways, he is going to find himself buried in that ground, and Diamond's going to take the win.
2 turns to the checkered flag.
Johnson holding on to the lead. Number 2, Ricky Johnson on the factory Honda out of El Cajon, California. Looks to be a little tired going over that jump, but there it is. Ricky's got it. Ricky takes the gold. Beautiful ride. He had to fight for that. And there is Diamond getting sideways also at the checkered flag. He's happy with second, and I think Yamaha's happy too. Jeff Ward finishes third, and I think considering all, he should feel very happy taking third. Ricky Johnson takes the gold at Anaheim Stadium Mickey Thompson's Super Crown of Stadium Motocross. We'll be right back with more exciting action. Don't go away.